Hey guys, it's me Tilly, and today I'm here with my very first beginner guide. And I will start where most people actually do when playing the game for the first time, and it's by leveling. This leveling guide is not meant to be the single fastest way, the single laziest way of leveling, so for anybody who's here to get to know how to level their alt characters the fastest, to get more Penfolon I will talk about in a later video by the way. If you're looking for that, play through Season 1. Once you reach Season 2, only do raids. There you go. Easy, quick, no problem whatsoever. If you're here though because you're new to the game, you want to learn some of the ropes, and you already want to prepare some late game stuff while leveling, this guide is for you. We will talk about your journey from level 90 to level 1. Wait, no. The other way around. Your journey from level 1 to level 90. And while 100 is the max level and not level 90, your priorities will drastically shift after reaching level 90. So I think starting with a guide up until level 90 and talking about everything else that comes after level 90 in a separate video is the way to go. I will talk about 3 topics today. The first one will be some convenience related stuff. The second one will actually help you to increase the leveling speed. And the third one will be stuff that is good to know and will already somewhat prepare you for the late game. You will find timestamps to all of these down below in the description, and let's get started with the first one. When talking about convenience related stuff while leveling, there are 3 things I want to mention. The first thing, and you can actually already see them, is your blue dots. Whenever you have no idea where to go, just follow your blue dots. They will show you the way to your next main story quest or like place you need to go. So if the second and third tip don't apply or don't work for some reason, blue dots are reliable. The second point will be about something that I think of being the best leveling tool in game, and it sadly only applies for solo players. It's the story progression mode. You can either use by going directly to the board, or you can nowadays access the board from anywhere by hitting the G as in guild or G as in get good button, and then depart for battle. And the button I mentioned is down below, the story progression button. What it does is it throws you into the next story mission, so you don't have to navigate your way through all of the areas and need to find your next story quest. And after completing that battle, there will be a next story button available. And if you press that, you probably know what's gonna happen. It will start the next story battle right away after holding the conversation, but you don't need to go to town, you don't need to walk to 5 different NPCs and so on and so forth. It's really convenient. I can't even tell you how much better it feels using the story progression button if you have never leveled yourself without it. This method sadly only applies to solo players, by the way. You can't do it while being in a group. Coming to my third point though, and that does apply for both solo and group players, more so for party players actually, because they are forced to return to town after every battle. And by the way, solo players also have to return to town sometimes. You don't hit story progression mode and level all the way to level 90, that's not how it works. If you're transitioning areas or in between seasons, you still need to return to town. But party players do return to town way more often, and when you need to, either because you play party or because you are a solo player and are forced to return to town, the M menu, M like in Monday or motherfucker. If you open it up, it looks something like that, and the most important thing for you, as I said before, it's gonna be main story. The quests in the very top. If there happen to be an icon looking similar to this one, just in another color, you can do your conversation from anywhere again. You don't need to go to the NPC to hold your conversation. There will also be occasions where neither story progression mode nor this method works, but you can still fall back to the very first thing that I told you. Just follow your blue dots. If you can't do conversation from anywhere, you have to go there, but the blue dots will show you the way anyways. So these are the 3 convenience related tips I can give you, and trust me when I say they make leveling way less frustrating. And they actually do speed up the process a little. If you don't do any of them, or if you do all of them, you can save up quite some minutes, if not even an hour or even more. Let's come to the points though that actually are meant to speed up your leveling process. And there are two of them. First one is joining a guild. Either you already have a friend that plays the game, you are able to join his, or you're just asking other guilds to join them. It's not the craziest boost ever, but it will give you AP, which is ability points, which you will need later on, and I will come to that one also later on in this video. And also experience. It's not the craziest boost, as I said, but anything you can get for free, you should take, right? And for the second point, you want to be level 40. And after reaching that level, you want to go to the Korean Inn. If you don't know where that building is, it's basically where you spawn when you start the game for the very first time, or where you spawn when you log in back to the game. If we enter the building, there will be a conversation available with my old friend over here, and if you press the AP shop button down below on the bottom, it obviously opens up the AP shop. And what we are looking for is the VIP service down below here in the bottom. It does cost you 500 AP, and I know as a new player that might be a lot for you, but trust me when I say it's worth it. It not only gives you more EXP, which you want to get because you want to level faster, it also increases your AP gain after completing battles. So if you play for more than 2 hours using this, and it lasts for 2 days real life time, not logged in time, but if you use it for more than 2 hours, it will pay for itself actually. You will actually gain more out of it than you buy it for. Alright, after a very short second topic of speeding up stuff, let me come to the helpful parts, to stuff you want to know if you're new, or stuff you want to know if you already want to prepare the end game while leveling. And the first topic is going to be AP, which I just a few minutes ago, probably just seconds for you, talked about. If you're new, you have no idea what to spend them on. If you open up your skill menu, you have common skills, you have weapon skills, you have all of these, restorations, equipment, like, there's a bunch of them. You don't know where to start, right? And I have a very, very good tip for you. If you go down in the bottom, there's the event party head thingy down here, and you click character growth goals. What we are looking for is the one in the bottom, right over here. And what this does is it rewards you with AP by spending AP. So you're investing AP into even more AP. And if you're very new, it actually is a rather good guideline, and it actually gives you a bunch of power. Like, it doesn't require you to level, it doesn't only require you to level bullshit, but rather helpful skills. So I think it's a very good mechanic for new players that have just no idea how to spend their AP. Follow along this one. Like right now for me, it requires me to level my weapon mastery to A, which I sadly can't do because I'm not high enough level. But definitely follow that one along. The next thing I want to talk about are luminaries. And it's your gathering proficiency in the game. In order to unlock it, either use the M menu, scroll down all the way to event story, and then there will be a luminary related quest right here. Or you head to the Korean Inn again, you talk to the strange traveler, and in story there will be that mission. You need to be a specific level, I think it's level 60, to unlock that. But once you unlocked it, you're able to collect these shiny bushes, and they do hold helpful materials. And later on, if you are level 90 in your gathering proficiency, you can also collect these shining luminaries. This again doesn't speed up your leveling, but it prepares you for the end game where you will need most of these materials you get from gathering. Heading over to probably every new player's nightmare in any game is the item overload and what to do with what items. There are 3 item categories I want to talk about. First one is gonna be armors and weapons. If you are a bro and you have somebody you know plays the game, ask him if he can dismantle items. If he can, and as I said, you are a bro, send all of them to your friend, because he can actually turn them into money. Or if you don't have anybody to help out, if you don't want to spend the time doing it, just sell them. Once you get a better item, there's like no real need for them, right? If you have a stronger item, use that, sell the older one. The second thing I want to talk about are scrolls. And while leveling pre-level 90, you will only ever encounter rank A, 9 and 8 scrolls. To give you like the shortest how to use those is rank A and 9 you can throw away. They are not really worth the time in my opinion trying to sell them. Rank 8, there are passion scrolls you want to look out for. But then again, everything else you can turn into some thousands, but for me it's not worth the effort, honestly. And lastly, there are materials. So everything that is not an armor, weapon or scroll, keep it for now, you will need it later on. You will find use for it. Okay, and the last point I want to talk about is your transformation. During your story, you will be able to test both of them out, the Dark Knight and the Paladin, and even later after that you have to choose between either of them. Be aware that nowadays there's not the biggest difference in between them anymore. It's mostly about what you think looks cooler, so go for that. After you did unlock it for yourself and you're able to use it yourself, I would recommend you to use it as often as possible while leveling pre-90. Why is that? Because pre-level 90 your transformation recharges much faster, to a point where you can use it every other dungeon. And what does transforming do for you? It A, speeds up your dungeon clear, which again is helpful if you're trying to level. And leveling these transformation skills, you don't need the AP you're using for all the other skills, you need transformation points. And transformation points you acquire by transforming. So the more you transform, the stronger your transformation gets. Then again, I would recommend you to level the duration skill first, and the name is kind of bullshit. It doesn't increase the duration, it's a reset mechanic. Whenever you kill an enemy, your remaining duration, okay, kind of duration related, isn't it? But your remaining duration gets reset. So what that does for you is you pop the transformation in the beginning of a dungeon, you start mass murdering every enemy you come across, and it will last for the entire dungeon if you have a few points into that. Alright, that's it for today though. I hope you found this video any helpful, and if you did and you're looking forward to see more guides related to Vindictus, feel free to hit the subscribe button to get notified whenever I do post more videos, and see you in the next one. Until then!